right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another It Belongs in a Museum, to which you should dutifully reply, as Philip already has. So do you. And that is correct. I do as well. So, what we're basically doing here today, if you are new to the show, which most of the people that are in the chat are not, and so do I. I mean, you. Yes, thank you, Peter. We are all in the same little boat, aren't we? Victoria Ketchum is here. Thank you for being here. So we've got Alaska represented. We've got Micah representing Finland. We've got Scott Drews. We've got Jeff C. All right, Jeff is here. Good to see you. Scott is here. Thank you all for being here. What 2018 games are we talking about today? Incorrect, my friend. Incorrect. So you're starting off on a bad foot already in a stream where you have to guess properly. So let's before I get too far into that, let me double check real quick. Let's see here. Nope, not 2018 there, and nope, not 2018 there. So I was correct. You are absolutely incorrect, my friend. How's that feel? Anyway, let me go ahead and get some stuff done here. This is a last minute prep that I forgot to do, so it's only going to take a little bit of time. There we go. We're done. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's 2017, Scott. Also incorrect. Both of you, Philip and Peter, thinking that teaming up on me is going to do anything. No, not so. Solo Board Gaming Night. What's up, Sergio? Good to see you. Hope everything is well. Everything is well. We had an amazing Labor Day weekend. A jam-packed Labor Day weekend. But it's all good stuff. All good stuff, man. We were able to go to 2 hockey games over the weekend, which we're super pumped about because our local WHL team, the Wenatchee Wild, are getting back into full swing, and their training camp ended last week, and they always do like a tournament at the end of training camp, and so on Saturday we were able to go see the top 2 teams play. The all-stars, basically, from the 2 brackets of the tournament, or what have you. And that was a good game. I think that was it was like a goal scorer, man. It was one of those games where you didn't care who won because they were all your team, or at least prospects for your team. So that was a good game to go watch. It was very fun. Then on Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, after church, we went back to see the rookies for our team this year play the rookies from our rival team, the Tri-City Americans. And that was a good game too, a low-scoring game. It was 1-0 for the Tri-City Ams all the way until deep into the 3rd period, and then we scored an equalizer and went into overtime, and they did a 4-on-4 sudden death overtime, and we scored the game winner in overtime. So that was a really good game as well. We had a great time. Our first preseason game, which is where we're going to actually see our roster and that kind of stuff hit the ice. That's going to be coming up this Saturday. So we're really excited about that. But we're pumped that hockey season is back in full swing. Everybody's trumpeting about football season. I'm like that Batman and Robin comic, hockey, But that's just the way it goes. It just feels like being at home, Scott says. Well, good. He's on to us now. I know. I'm on to you. I'm watching you. No TI4 today. Maybe TI3. No, that is incorrect. Micah's TI4 is every day, Philip. We need more Stonemeyer games in this show. People don't talk about them very often. Well, I don't I don't think I own any Stonemaier games. Maybe I do. Let me check. I don't want to be. No, not board games. No. Come on. Don't you hate it when you hit the wrong button? No, not designers, publishers, and then put in Stonemaier games. There we go. All right, Stonemaier games. Let's see here. I used to own Scythe. Never played it. Always played somebody else's copy. So I gave JT my copy of Scythe. Don't own Wingspan. Don't own Wyrmspan. Don't own Viticulture. Let's see. I do like Apiary, but I don't own it. Between Two Castles of Macklin Ludwig, don't own. I own the Castles of Mad King Ludwig, but that's not Stonemaier. Between Two Cities, don't own. Charterstone, I've played it. I enjoy it, but I don't own it. Euphoria, don't own it. Expeditions, don't own it. Finspan, super don't own it. Libertalia, no. Pendulum, no. Red Rising, no. Rolling Realms, no. Wow, there's a lot of Rolling Realms titles out there. Oh, they're blister packs. That's why. Okay, well, there's a reason I don't own that one. Oh my gosh. That's 2 pages of Rolling Realms. Interesting. There's Scythe. We already talked about that. Skyrim, don't own it. Smitten, don't own it. Smitten 2. Stamp Swap. No, although I've heard Stamp Swap is really good. Tapestry, do not own it. Tokaido, don't own. Vantage, do not own. Viticulture, do not own. Yeah, I don't think I own any Stonemaier games. That's just the long and the short of it. Sorry. Not even Scythe. That is correct. You know, when Scythe first came out, I was enamored with the artwork. I loved the idea of a of that alternate universe World War I/World War II look. I loved it. Thought it was amazing. Then I played it and I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. But in my mind, I was like, this felt like a Euro game, and it's nothing like what the artwork told me it was going to be. Very little combat, very little. It's just, getting the stars that you need to get. And I'm like, And over the years, people got into Scythe, and they played it so much. And every time I played it, I just got stomped, because it's one of those games where if you don't play it continually, and if you don't continually come back to it, not like all the time, but if you don't, play it with some consistency, then people just surpass your ability and they'll always stomp you. And I also don't like that very much. I'm very picky about those kinds of games, because more often than not, I want everybody at the table to have a chance. But, it's just the way it is. But so I like Scythe. I came to the realization, I think 2 years ago, playing, I reluctantly agreed to play Scythe with some people. A buddy of mine was going to play with him, with Love Thy Nerd, and they asked me to play, and I was reluctant. I really was. But I was like, okay, I want to hang out with these dudes. So I went ahead and sat down at the table, and instead of trying to compete, instead of trying to win, I just tried to do the best that I could do. Didn't care what everybody did around me, didn't blah, 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 whatever. I just tried to do what I could do the best. And I enjoyed myself. I wasn't trying to win. I wasn't trying to smash this person. Wasn't trying to get points over here. Wasn't trying to take points over here or whatever. I was just trying to enjoy myself. And I did. So, but I can't do that all the time, because some people even make Yeah, I'm just going to stop talking about that because I don't want to get all negative and Nancy about it. But sometimes you just can't play that way because of the people that are playing the game. But anyway, so disappointed. I'm sorry, Peter. Now Sam is guessing for us. No, I'm not. Rolling Realms is awesome. I've never played Rolling Realms. Did you ever go back and update your game ratings? Watched Obscurio review. Honestly surprised you gave it a 9. No, I really enjoy Obscurio. Now, again, one of the things most people, well, I wouldn't say most people, but maybe you don't. When I give a game a rating of a 9, I'm usually speaking about in that particular genre of games. I would not equate Obscurio with something like Blood Rage. Those two are not equal in my opinion. But for the kind of game that Obscurio is, I really enjoy that. The way Obscurio did it. It killed Mysterium for me. It killed most of that genre for me. If I want to play a game where I'm giving clues, pictorially speaking, so that to try to lead people down the right path, I'm definitely going with Obscurio. I just liked all the mechanisms that they employed, much better than Mysterium, which Mysterium for me comparatively just felt like a crapshoot. There just wasn't enough. There weren't enough ways for the clue giver to communicate with the people playing the game. Even, not by word, but I'm talking about what they're pointing out in the pictures and that kind of stuff. With Mysterium, you're just like, here, have this card. And I'm like, okay. And, there's nothing really to really focus upon. So it killed Mysterium for me. And, but yeah, I really enjoyed Obscurio. Really, really. Skyrim is a Stonemaier game. It wasn't the big multi-box Skyrim. It was something else. But it was a game called Skyrim. Get on with it, might one Mr. say here now. All right, Micah. I was expecting to look over. I saw get on with it, and I was expecting to see Eric's name. So well done. Victoria says, where is Eric? I don't know. We don't need Eric. Peter says, not anymore, apparently. Let's see. I'm most people. Yeah, I'm me. Well, I'm me as well. All right. So what we do here on It Belongs in a Museum is we talk about older games. And we've put the arbitrary line at 5 years. If it's 5 years old or older, it is valid to be talked about here on the museum. It is not one of those things where we talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about old games. That's just because I don't play a whole lot of old games. What we do talk about, we are probably going to talk about games that are up to and surpassing 5 years old. And that's just simply because the nature of our industry and the nature of content creation within our industry, most of the content that's being produced is content about new stuff or stuff that hasn't even come out yet. And I want to push back on that a little bit. I don't think that's very healthy as an industry, as a standard. I think while it's necessary, marketing is a thing, and I get it. I think it's also needful to kind of point out some of the stuff that has been around for a while and is still worthy of your consideration if you see it on a shelf. And so I pull down a couple of games off my shelf and we talk about them. Kind of do an impromptu, not really impromptu, but a kind of unboxing for you, just to show you what's in the box and kind of get the gist of the game and all that kind of stuff. Now, as we're doing that, we try to make it a little bit of fun. We play a game, and whomever is able to, I'm going to give you a couple of clues about both of the games that we're going to do. We talk about 2 games, and the first, and we split them up. We give away 2 prizes, and those prizes are awarded to the person who can correctly guess what game we're going to talk about next. With the couple of clues that I give you. And I'll give you 2 clues, and then you can use your BGG food or your Google Foo or whatever it might be to try to find out what game we're going to talk about first. and then subsequently second. And then if you win, if you have won in the past, you have the opportunity to pass on your winnings today to somebody else that's in the chat. Or if you just want to take those winnings, that's fine. What you do need to do is send me in an email what your shipping address is so that I can mail those out. We just mailed out 4 packages this weekend from the last couple of weeks that went out Saturday morning. From the last couple of weeks, if you haven't got your packages yet, we just mailed them out on Saturday and they'll be coming pretty soon. So be on the lookout. Yeah, that's about it. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And he keeps talking. Wow, Micah, I don't like the Eric Micah. I don't like the Eric Micah. But, I mean, well, see, there's Eric. Okay, so Eric, Micah, you can stop now. I don't need both of you doing it. Get on with it. I've seen quicker starts at the Olympic relay race for the deaf. It uses a starter pistol. See, if you have to explain all of the context there, it's not a good zinger. It just isn't, Eric. That was too long to be a zinger. Get on with it. That would have been great. That would have been great. I noticed you have Duel from Middle Earth. My wife and I really enjoy that, as well as Splendor Duel. We weren't a big fan of Everdell Duo or Isle of Cats Duel. Isle of Cats Duel. I have to say that twice just to make sure I don't say what they want you to say. Let's see here. Yes, I really enjoyed Duel from Middle Earth. The reason I enjoyed Seven Wonders Duel, but I think the Lord of the Rings franchise IP fits better. I think, and the artwork is amazing. So I really enjoyed that. I haven't played Splendor Duel because I couldn't care less about Splendor. I've never played Everdell, and I've never played Everdell Duo. I have played Isle of Cats Duel and with Tom, and I actually purchased it, and I'm going to teach my wife how to play here in a little bit. Got to explain the rules for new people, Micah. Micah's pillow must be calling her name. Eric has hacked Micah's computer. Very well could be. First guess, TI4 Deluxe Edition with Cthulhu miniature. No, not yet, Philip. I'm very awake still. Cool. All right, so we're going to get started. First, the first game that we're going to talk about hails from the year 2013, 2013. So this is a 12-year-old game. So take that for what it's worth. The second clue that I will give you is a couple of mechanisms that are involved. First one is set collection. Second one is tile placement. All right, so set collection and tile placement comes from the year 2013, and let's go ahead and get to it, which means you may begin guessing. Oh, boy. Went to 4 church services this weekend. I serve on the production crew, the tech crew, and I run a camera about once a month, one weekend out of the month. And when you do that, you go to all 4 services. So it's good for me, though, because it's good sometimes that while I'm not able to take notes, which I usually do during the sermon, I did hear the same sermon 4 times. And that's good for me because it's like, driving it into my thick skull. So that's good. Philip says Russian railroads. No. Carcassonne South Seas. No. Coal Baron. Negative. Carpe diem. Seize the day. You, sir, have probably seized the wrong day. Philip Zomberg, Lewis and Clark. No. Nauticus. No, Peter. All incorrect so far. So if you're still out there guessing, you still have a chance. Let me clarify also, you're not going to be winning a copy of the game that we're talking about. You're just going to get a surprise package. That surprise package will usually have 1 or 2 stickers from us, Flipside stickers, and then a board game thing, surprise of some kind. It might be an accessory. It might be an expansion. It might be a game. It might be anything, but it's usually going to be board gaming related. Necropolis, no. Battlelore, no. Battlelore is a good game, though. Lewis and Clark is a good game. Carcassonne South Seas is a good game. Russian Railroads is, it's okay. I know there's a lot of people out there that love that series of games. The Neom. What is Neom? I think Eric's making things up. Concordia? No. Guilds of Cadwallon? No. Or is that Cadwallon? Keep the Crown? No. Glass Road? No. Also no. So far, you guys are batting 0. Caverna, still batting 0. I've got a no-hitter going. What were the clues? Come now, sir. Gear and piston, Peter says. Okay, the first clue was it's the year 2013. Comes from the year 2013, and the two mechanisms employed are set collection and tile placement. Viticulture. No, I just told you I don't own viticulture, Philip. Somebody's not paying attention. You better wake up, Aaron. The Great Heartland Hauling Company. No. Keynes. I've never even heard of that game. Keynes? Oh, Kenya. Sorry. I can't advance search on BGG. Why not? Oh, I think you're on the phone. I get you. Firefly. A good game, but no. Kenya. Well, Victoria already... Well, that looks like it might have been a guess for Keynes, but to, straighten out what Keynes meant. But no, that's also incorrect. Gear and piston. Nope, not correct. What were the clues? Expedition Northwest Passage, Micah says. Expedition Northwest Passage, Alexander says. It's technically correct. I'll give it to Micah. It's technically correct. Alhambra, no. Keith, nice try though. But it's not exactly correct because it's the HMS Terror edition. So we're going to be talking about the HMS Terror edition of Expedition Northwest Passage. And I'm being a little cheeky when I say it's not technically correct. It is correct. This is the Expedition Northwest Passage game, but this is the HMS Terror edition. And I think the HMS Terror edition just means that it has a little bit more deluxe components than the original one did. But there you have it. Micah, you are the winner today. So having won before, you have the opportunity to pass your winnings along to somebody else today, or just send me your address information once again so that I have your most up-to-date information and we'll get it out to you. But anyway, let me go ahead and put our email in there, because this is where you will need to send, not Zom, flipsideobg@gmail.com. And that is the email that either Micah, if Micah wants to receive that gift again, she will need to send me a most up-to-date address information, or if Micah wants to give it away to somebody else, they will have to send me an email or rather with their shipping information. There we go. Clap, 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 Micah. There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. Good job, Micah. Don't do it. He will send you pen-filled in roll and write sheets. I won't do that. But that's a good one. That's one you've not said before, Eric. That was well done. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and get down to the table, and we will take a look at what's inside the box of Expedition Northwest Passage, the HMS Terror Edition. Now, this one does have the little shiny box cover, which I always thought was pretty cool. I like it when boxes do that. It just gives a little bit more pop to the product. I have not said Eve's Tourney. I don't know if that's a correct pronunciation of the designer's name, but there you have it. So you open the box. I like the inside of the box cover too. It's just a really neat cover. Additionally, I watched the TV show The Terror on, well, it's on TV. It was an episodic show on Netflix, and really enjoyed it. So that's one of the things that kind of brought this back to the forefront. I will say this. I think this, I've seen games played of this. The complexity is about 2.6, 2.7, 2.68 is what it is on the Geek here. There are, it is listed as a 7.0 as far as a rank is concerned, and that's using over 2,000 ratings. So it's a solid game. It's a solid game, and I'm very much interested in a lot of the different mechanisms involved here. And I'm also interested in the historical tie-in, the theme, with the theme. So that just gives you an idea of why this is on my shelf. Now, the reason I take a moment to do all of that, or to say all of that, is because this game is currently on my shelf of shame. I did pick this up at an Origins, I think, a couple of years ago, and it just hasn't made it to the table yet. But it is definitely, this is actually, I think, it started off as a web-published game. So very much, you know, kind of the, you know, from, you know, humble beginnings, basically. And it's been put together by Matago. It's been published by Matago. It's also been published, this particular copy that I have, by Maple Games. So it's been around the block a few times, all right? And so there you have it. I really, really, really like the components of this copy of the game. I like the fact that you have this board that is going to go out onto the table, and it goes together as a puzzle piece, kind of. But on top of that, it has this ridged in, it's double layered so that the tiles don't move around once they get put out onto the board. And I really do enjoy that. And of course, you're going from there to there. So you're starting your Northwest Passage and trying to get through to the end over here. So you have the beginning, and then you have the end over here, and you're going to be placing out tiles this way, trying to find that Northwest Passage. I really enjoy the idea behind this game, and I really like the components, all of the different components here. Everybody has their own player board as well. And well, I guess that's blue, I guess that's white, purple, and tan. Or brown, maybe, I don't know. But that's really cool. All of the components comes in these, you know, you put them in these little token holders, so to speak, I guess. And I just think that's really neat. That doesn't fit in there, so that just kind of comes out here. Has a really nice bag. This edition has a really nice bag, and so, and it's a big sized bag as well, because what it's holding is all of those tiles that you're going to be placing out onto the board with different things on them. So I think that's a really neat thing, and I think it's cool that this bag is so big. I don't have small hands, and I have plenty of room in this bag to kind of just really kind of mix up these tiles and really make sure that they're shuffled well. So that bag is really, really nice. You also have all of your different, I believe, pretty sure that this is your point tracker. Everybody has their own little point tracker, I think. Gosh, can't remember at this point now. Yeah, compass scoring marker. And so everybody has their own. We got blue. These two look really close to being the same, but there's purple. So I guess purple, white, blue, and tan. So everybody has their own little scoring markers so that, you know, you have this one stops at 70, and then you keep going with your points above that. So I thought that was pretty neat. These different little compass scoring tiles for your cells for each player. Let's see. What in the world? Why is that a little? So pull that out. Okay, there we go. And then these are some little tiles in here as well. But anyway, kind of get the idea, yeah? Where it has all these really neat components in here, and the believe these are I think these are event cards, and we've got French, which we don't need, and we've got English, which we do need. All right, more tracking tokens here. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you've got the player pieces in these. So I'll just open one of them so you kind of have the idea. There's everything that needs to be in there. You have a ship. Oops. And then you have a whole bunch of meeples, and then you also have a skiff as well. So each player has their own pieces like so. And there you have it. That just closes right back up. Like that. That goes in there. And yeah, so that's about it. There isn't a whole lot else going on in the thing, but basically, you know, like we explained earlier, nope, those don't go there. These go in here. These go in here. That goes in there. This goes in here. All right, that goes there just like that. And then that can go down in there. Then we have that and that. Then this is in here too. This is where different tiles are going to be placed, and you're going to be able to take from them. But that's basically what Expedition Northwest Passage is. This is going to be one that I am hoping to get to the table here pretty quick, and I am going to be doing this on a live stream. I'm committing to that right now because I just think I should. But anyway, that's Expedition Northwest Passage, the HMS Terror Edition. Oh, really? Then I take it. All right, then. Nice art. So you have only seen it played. Yes, that's correct. How much shame will you feel if you end up hating the game? I will not. Because it's rated a 7.0 out of 10 on the Geek from 2,000 people. So if I don't like it, that doesn't make it a bad game. It just means that I don't like it. I highly doubt that I'm going to dislike it because I do like a lot of the different things. For me, aesthetics and theme go a long way. I have liked games in the past that I didn't necessarily enjoy mechanically, but because of the theme and because of the aesthetics of the game, I at least enjoyed the game. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to tout it as best game ever. You know, I'm not going to do something like that, but aesthetics and theme go a long way for me specifically. And with those two things really working for it already, I doubt I'm going to dislike it. And I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't think I was going to if I didn't think I was going to like it. So there you have it. David Brownlee is here. What's up, Dave? Good to see you. David, we have, I know it's not the second Friday of the month. We have a football game next Friday. So this coming Friday, September 5th, is Steamers West. I know it's late, but we just worked that out this morning, that it was going to work out with Steamers West. So if you can make it, I'd be glad to see you. Be happy to see you. Let's see. Can we ask anything about board games? Yes, you may. Absolutely. Always. Scott Drews says, if you don't like it, you can turn it into Heat, Northwest Passage. Everything would melt at that point. And then there wouldn't be any game anymore, because then you don't have to struggle to find the Northwest Passage. Everything's melted. That was the whole thing. You can't add heat to it. I'm just kidding. Okay, maybe. All right, well, we'll see. I'm sorry for the late notice. We just worked it out this morning. I was hoping we would be able to give everybody at least a week advance, but we didn't hear back from the owner. And I stopped by there this morning, and of course it was a long weekend on top of that. So my apologies. All right, so that is Expedition Northwest Passage from 2013. The next game that we're going to talk about is from the year 2016. 2016. A couple of the other mechanisms involved. Do you ever play fantasy? Do you ever do fantasy football? No, Al, I do not. I am not a stats cruncher, which in order to do well at fantasy football, that's pretty much what you have to be. And I'm not. So I never enjoyed doing fantasy football, because I would put in my mind what is an inordinate amount of time putting my team together and putting them in the right spaces and making sure all my positions are filled. And then I would get stomped week after week after week after week, because I found out that other people are putting hours upon hours of time, and I was doing like 20 to 30 minutes. And I was like, I'm not having fun here, and you guys are taking way more time than I ever thought I would need to. So I've just never done anything really kind of fantasy, or even like, it's been a rare occurrence that I even take part in like guessing who's going to win brackets of tournaments and that kind of stuff. Just because, first of all, I forget to do it. I forget to fill in my stuff, and it becomes a chore to remember to do all of that stuff week to week, and just never enjoyed it. Tourist says, do you make a board game, card game, or comic book when you were a child? No, I did not. No, I didn't make any of that stuff. My brain didn't go to that place. When I played games, I know that, a lot of gamers and a lot of people that I've talked to about their being a kid and all that kind of stuff, they would always talk about that kind of stuff. And a lot of the designers would absolutely have that experience of having a point at which you just wanted to design your own board game. I never did that. I like playing games, but I don't know that I would be very well at designing one. I like to think I would probably be pretty good at helping someone develop it, but designing one I think that's another echelon of brain power that I am lacking. So, nope, never did. But that's a good question. Thank you for that. Now it has to be TI4 Deluxe Edition with Cthulhu miniature. It is not. Captain Sonar, no. Did I even give the second? The first clue was 2016. The second clue is some of the mechanisms involved. We're going to go with dice rolling and variable player powers. Dice rolling and variable player powers. Those are the two mechanisms involved. And the second clue is the fact that it comes from the year 2016. So 2016, dice rolling, and variable player powers. No, Micah, you are not correct. You are not correct. David Brownlee says, Feast for Odin, Citadels, Hit the Road. No. Captain Sonar, no. So many guesses, same time. Imhotep, Iberia, no. We only have 2016 as a clue. So, Little Circuses. Mechs versus Minions, no. Star Wars Rebellion, no. Project Elite, no. All good, well, Project Elite is a good game, I guess. I just don't enjoy it. Dice Forge, ooh, good game. Really enjoy that one. Mechs versus Minions, eh. Jeff C. V-Sabotage. Role player, Circadians. Mansions of Madness. I made a Snakes and Ladders clone. That's interesting. Snakes and... what you mean by the word clone there. Conan. No. Rescue Polar Bears. No. Rescue Polar Bear. No. Neither singular nor plural. Robert and Alexander. Sorry. Inish. No, Philip. I'll go ahead and end your difficulty because the correct answer has been given already. Lorenzo Il Magnifico. Trois. No and no, David. The correct answer was given by Mr. Jeff Camera. V-Sabotage. V-Sabotage. Now, before I say anything, I don't want to get Triton Noir in a pickle here. The only copy of the game that I own that I can... Actually, I have a copy of V-Sabotage over there, but it's a nasty copy that I just opened earlier today. Yeah, it's really, really messy inside. And I'm not saying that this is going to be any better, but the only copy of the game that I'm willing to show you has the word V Commandos on it. Because that was the original name of the game. There was a video game that came out called V Commandos way back in the day, and they contacted Triton Noir after they already produced it and said, "Hey, you're using our game's name, and we don't want you doing that." And so they're like, didn't have any clue, changed the name. I believe they even tried to work something out, couldn't come to an agreement or a compromise, because the two games are... Well, I've never played the computer game, so I have no idea if it's anything like. I don't think it's anything like it. But anyway, Triton Noir had no idea that it was out there, that I'm aware of at least. And so they made V Commandos. So before I show you the box, the name of the game is V-Sabotage. That is correct. V-Sabotage. V-Sabotage. But the only copy of the game that I have here that I'm willing to show you, because I'm pretty sure it's pretty well contained inside. It says V Commandos on the box. Same game, different name. So there you have it. But that is V Commandos. Now I do have all three boxes here. And this is V-Sabotage. I know it says V Commandos on the box. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to just say V-Sabotage. So there you go. But we're going to go through each of these boxes. We're going to rifle through them. We're not going to have a whole lot of time going in here. So Jeff's on fire again. That is correct. Bang! No, not Bang the Dice Game. That's funny. Dead of Winter, Long Night. No, that's correct. No, that's not correct. No. Jeff's on fire. Sam's always looking for ways to bend the rules of his own game. Yeah, I know. I knew it had something to do with coffee. Yeah, something like that. All right. Well, Jeff, either pick somebody in the chat or, again, send me a... you've been knocking it out of the park. So if I may, could you try to find somebody in the chat? Because I know I've sent you a lot of stuff here recently, because you win on a regular, dude. You're bang on. So try to find somebody in the chat. If you can't, I'll still send you something. It's not a big deal. Don't care really who I mail it to. I just want to try to spread it out as much as possible. Anyway, going down to the table here. Again, doesn't say V Commandos. Don't look here. Anyway, Just trying to give you an idea of what's in the box here, people. Wow, it's just holding on there, isn't it? All right, so here we go. Again, doesn't say V Commandos. Shh, 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 shh. So anyway, you have a whole bunch of different things here. So there is, I mean, if you look at the Geek, it says that this is a 2.72. So this is kind of getting up there. It's still mid-weight level, but I think this is definitely a heavy mid, if that makes sense. And the rule book here is not really doing much in the way of inspiring any kind of light feel to this, but the game really isn't that difficult. Like most of these kinds of games, the rule book has to be kind of specific about a lot of different things. Otherwise, people are just going to go the wrong way with it. And so that's why a lot of these rule books are this way. You can choose different levels of difficulty with each of the different scenarios. This is a scenario-based game, and it is tied to World War II commando missions where you are trying to go through. They do have a training manual that basically can take you through mission 1, mission 2, and mission 3, and that kind of gives you a good idea of all of the mechanisms that are employed in the game. So if you do get this game, I highly recommend using these first before you crack into all of the other scenarios that come with the game. These do not come in the base game that I'm aware of. I picked these up at a different, at a convention one year from Triton Noir. So you have a couple of different bags for all of the enemy troops and all of the equipment tokens that come in the bag. But basically, you have a bunch of, it is a modular board setup. So you're going to, depending upon, let's see, where is it? So you have these cards here, yeah, which are different scenario objectives that will tell you what you're supposed to do in order to win the game. And then you're going to have other, where is it? So you have different maps that are shown in the book. So you have the ruins map, you have the Panzer Depot, and then you have the water tower. These are all different maps that you have to set up using these different decks that are here, right? So you come over here. These are all of the different characters. And then, so for example, starting here, you see that there are this is the barracks. And so you're going to set up the map so that it looks like this. And so it tells you the size rooms that you're going to be using, but which ones you use is largely dependent upon you. There you have it. But you have the barracks, you have the battery, you have the battleship, you have blockades and so forth. So you have all of these different maps that are in here. And it also shows you how many players are supposed to be using this map and so forth and so on. So it's actually a pretty neat system, because instead of having another book where all of these maps are laid out, they're just these cards. Now, you are going to have all of these different characters to choose from. So you've got a sapper, and this guy is, as you can see from the border, this guy's an American. This guy is French. You have a British scout, a French sergeant. You have a Russian sniper. And again, some of these are, and this is a German, looks like a butcher. Yeah, looks like it. Anyway, and then you have a British officer, intel officer, death cheater. So some of these are, what do you call them? Promos that I was able to pick up over the course. I think 1, 2, 3, and I believe 4. I believe these were the ones that came in the base game, and some of these other ones were promos and or whatchamacallits, expansion type things. So let me see if I can get this back in here. It's a little bit of a tight fit. Yeah, I've got it. All right. So, and then, you know, you have a whole bunch of different things. These are the dice that you're going to be rolling. These are all of the different bad guys that are going to be walking around the board. That's another thing. The base game was a bunch of tokens, where you had your guy was a token, and then the bad guys were tokens, and they were just moving around. So it was not a miniatures game. They did come out with a miniatures game, or rather a miniatures pack when they changed it to V-Sabotage. But these are all double-sided, so you have an outside and an inside on a lot of these, but I don't believe all of them are all outside, inside. Maybe they are. It looks like they probably are. But anyway, outside, inside, different things. So that's a cool thing. And then you also have, like, I mean, here, let me see if I make sure I can put all of these, just so I can show you how many actually came in the box. I mean, it's like, no, there's no dearth of material here, you know what I mean? It's just, there's a whole bunch of them. And then you have, you know, inside, outside. And again, the artwork on these are really nice as well. Again, I'm a huge aesthetic gamer. So outside, or rather, that looks like an inside compound. Then outside with the tree, same thing. Really neat boards, that Panzer outside. So, and then you also have hallways and meeting rooms and different spots that are in all of these different compounds, and it looks really cool. You know, it's a great. Here's that looks like a locker room of some sort. So it gives you an idea of what you have at your disposal in these tiles, and so that gives you a good idea of everything that comes in the box as far as. And this is just the core, you know what I mean? But there's a whole lot of, these are different kinds of event cards that go through here. So just a lot of different stuff that happens, and tokens at the end that are going to happen and so forth. Which way the enemy troops are going to move and what they're going to do and so forth. So, and yes, I just used a rubber band on some cards. Sue me. So that gives you a good idea of what's in the base box, at least the base game of the box, and so that's pretty good. All of this goes in here like so, and then your 2 books on top. So that's the base game. Then they did have a couple of other expansions. They had a resistance expansion, and again, all of these are available under the V-Sabotage name. But again, it just comes with more scenarios, more players that you can play, more event cards, and so forth, and all of the tokens that you need to use as well. They come with new boards on both sides. So there's a gate there, a little parachute next to a tree. So it just gives you more stuff to play the game. These kinds of expansions are awesome for me because I just want more to play with. I don't need to have new mechanisms and new this and new that. I just want to have more to play with. And they did have some new mechanisms with the new players that came with the new characters that came in this. They did have some new mechanisms and so forth and so on, but by and large you're playing the same game. So that gives you an idea of what this game has available for it. And it's called V-Sabotage. It's not called V-Commando. I know all my stuff says V-Commandos, but it is called V-Sabotage. So that is that. It's a really fun game. So basically what you're trying to do is you have all of these different missions, and you're trying to stealthily go through and accomplish all of these missions. It was re-implemented by Assassin's Creed, The Brotherhood of Venice. And that IP also is very stealth related, so it fit the mechanisms really well. JT and I have played that one a lot on the channel a while ago, but we still did, and we enjoyed that one a lot as well. So, but it's the same system was utilized. The same system was utilized in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice as what V-Sabotage has. So that'll give you a good idea of how the game plays. And this is basically just the World War II version of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. All right. So let's see. What have we got here? Any newbies want the prize? Don't be shy. Maybe Tourist Archie? That would be cool. There are no newbies in the museum. Anybody that has no FOBG stickers on their coffee mug. Can I have the mug too? In addition to the V-Sabotage expansion in the V-Commandos box. On Tuesdays, I just drink it straight from the pot. And mini pots. All that could fit in the base box. All of that could fit in the base box, it looks like. Yes, it could. Rather play this or Metal Gear? I never had a connection to Metal Gear Solid. I actually have Metal Gear Solid sitting over there. JT and I have played it a couple of times, once online. Oh, I don't even know. Have we played it? I don't know that we've played it a second. We've played it once online, and I don't want to overstate how many times I've played it, but I'm pretty sure I've only played it once. My thing with Metal Gear Solid is that Emerson Matsuuchi is the designer of that, and I really like Emerson's design style, but I don't have a connection to Metal Gear Solid. And I don't have a connection to World War II either, but I like World War II as a theme, as a construct, especially when you're reenacting missions and that kind of stuff. So on IP, or rather on theme alone, I would give it to V-Commandos. But Emerson is a great designer, and I didn't dislike Metal Gear Solid. I just don't have a connection to it. But I did like the simplicity of play, and I need to get that back to the table, frankly. All right, so Jeff is asking if anybody wants that prize, and so you got to let us know if you want the prize. And to provide a little bit more context, Jeff wins a lot, and he has given his prizes away. He's also accepted his prize, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, if nobody pipes up and says, yeah, I'll take it, then we're going to send something to Jeff again. So you only have a few more minutes, though, because we usually get done. We usually like to cut these off at about an hour, and we are 1 minute away from that. So if anybody wants that, wants Jeff's winnings today, speak up or forever hold your peace, and we shall send it to Jeff. So let me know. I'm probably, you know what, Philip, I'm probably going to be getting V-Sabotage and Metal Gear Solid back to the table in the very near future. So maybe that's a conversation we'll have later on. But right now, I think V-Sabotage would win. This is basically what the sticker will look like when you receive your package. But that is that. Ooh, Extreme extreme heat warning for our area starting today, actually starting 10 minutes ago. Dangerously hot conditions with high temperatures of 95 to 105 until 8 o'clock Thursday, 8 p.m. Thursday. Woof, that's going to be a week full. Ouch. Okay, well, joyous. How's the 3D printing going? Well, for right now, it's not going. I printed out a organizer for Cascadia and printed that out, got that done, and it has sat idle since then. I haven't had a whole lot of time the last couple of weeks. There has been a lot going on, all good stuff, but it's just that kind of thing where I haven't had time to research my next project and get it going. I just haven't done that. JT's been cranking it on some of his D&D terrain and stuff like that. He's found a lot of D&D terrain files that he's been printing out, which is pretty cool because, instead of using a dry erase marker, he's been actually able to put out terrain on our tables the last time that we played RPGs. So D&D. What? Here's already getting colder. Yeah, this is how it goes in Washington. Now, I will say that this is a little strange. Usually our high temperature weather hits in August, and so we're just now getting into September, and usually at this point the weather starts to dip as far as temperature is concerned. But we have had we're going to have about a week of high temps again, which is strange, but it is what it is. It'll be all right. Clouds have also returned to the western contingent. Going to bed, head out. Going to head out. Just bye, guys. See you later, Victoria. Have a good one. All right. Well, nobody spoke up, Jeff, so we're going to I just need you to send me a tickler. And Micah, I want you to send me a tickler as well. Plenty of room for expansions to fit in the box. Yes, that is correct. Bye, Victoria. See you later. Have a good one. My phone was in my pocket and I accidentally blocked someone in this chat. Oopsies. No worries, Scott. I'm sure they'll get over it. All right. Well, we're out of here. Thanks for joining me. I certainly appreciate it, Micah. And Jeff, make sure you send me emails so we can have those reminders in my inbox so that we can get you something here in the next week or so. And we'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Thanks for coming by. Tomorrow, I think what we're going to be doing is we might be doing something in the morning. Yeah, in the morning. Yeah. Well, let's get to it. Let's get back to it. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. And if it gets scheduled, then you'll know it's happening. If it doesn't, just be bolo. Just bolo, all right? Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you guys and gals tomorrow on the flip side. Take care. Won't hold your breath. Okay, Eric.